Hello, to anyone who's watching this. I'd just like to start off by saying that looking into the trucking world, it's super interesting and really super sad to see how they're treated, right? Um, on page 92, um, the author Lore he says how Line estimates that she grossed $200,000 in a year, but that she took home less than 17,000, right? And then he goes on to say on page 93 how Line works on the road for 3 weeks at a time, who works more than 70 hours a week, and that she's a great person who is involved in the community and helping other truckers. And it's insane that she doesn't get paid for the work that she does, right? Similarly to sustainability, like for farm workers who work, hard to earn their living, and they don't really get much of the money because of the food systems and how everything works, right? And so it's important that I think we need to start creating better systems, like for example with the farmers, like creating or using pulses that are easier to harvest and that will take off some of the load, because the truck driving world is definitely not sustainable for the environment, of course, with all the trucks driving around and the gases, but also mainly for the truck drivers themselves. So yeah, this idea about true cost is definitely interesting, and I'm not too sure if I totally understand it, but what I thought was interesting is on page 97, Lore says that the price of transport dropped by 20% in just the first few years. Of course, she's talking about the trucking business. And then on page 98, he says, what appears to be happening is that the industry has figured out not only how to make humans replaceable, but also how to make money off of their replacement. So what's going on here is the true cost of the food, right? In the process of trying to make it cheaper for the consumer, a lot of these big organizations are now taking advantage of workers who are just trying to make their wage. And especially in the trucking business, now that there's so many truckers now. And, this kind of just ties back into the broader context of the module, how, it's good for the consumer, but, it's not really sustainable for the system in general, right? Because, if the trucking system were to break down, then what would happen to the supply, right? Without truckers, we wouldn't have really much supply. Of course, there's other ways, but yeah, thank you so much for listening and have a good one.